I'm just wandering around this section of rail trail here. Wow, there's like a few piles of ties all through here before. I've been through this section before, but I don't think I made a video. I'm just kind of wandering around. I'm sure I was recording. I just didn't keep anything. Oh wow, there are some big ones out here too. I don't see any signage here, so we'll see. Oh wow, it's kind of cool. This was the originally the Cochico Railroad, and I have walked the entire thing all the way into Alton, but some sections, I think it was this and another one, I didn't really record much. I probably recorded a couple things briefly, probably some culverts or something. Yeah, it's cool to see these out here. The whole look like full pieces. Amazing, they're sitting out here rotting away. Didn't expect that, but that one's actually not bad. Let's see, huge pile here. Yeah, they're all over the place out here. That's crazy. That's one thing I didn't visit last time. I just kind of walked through, just connecting to the next junction. Guess I wasn't paying attention. Wow, these look pretty nice. Pretty cool, man. They're just scattered everywhere. This is probably the most I've seen in one place, other than being like in a stack. These are scattered just all over. And of course, I'd like to see a nail here or there. So the interesting thing about these, those tracks were originally laid down in 1849. So to find anything here would be really cool. It looks like a spike maybe that broke off or something right there. Maybe if I could find a piece of rail from around that time. I have found some rail on other sections of this trail. Oh, look at this. So this is from an old, this is where the switch would have operated, right here. Wasn't that cool? It's still connected. Oh my God. I wonder if there's any patents on that. Well, you can clearly see, check it out, man. Check this out. You can clearly see B&M, Boston and Maine Railroad. That's the first time I've seen B&M on any piece of equipment the whole time I've been out here. That's awesome. So you're probably asking, well, you're talking about the Cochico and that thing's labeled Boston and Maine. That's because the Cochico was the original railroad that came through here. And Boston and Maine pretty much took over every railroad around here. And they went out of business, I think, in about 82, 83. You know, seeing that makes me wonder, is a switch out here too? You just never know. Another interesting about this, where I just came from the intersection right over here, is there was a circus train wreck in 1928, which was the Boston, Maine at that time. Yeah, there's some kind of spikes in here. Someone's blasting. Well, we have our first date now, but you know, I can't read it. What does that say, 49, 29? I really can't tell. If you look up 1928 Circus Train Wreck, Farmington, New Hampshire, there's not a ton of information about it, but it did happen supposedly, I don't know, like 100 yards right up here at the intersection. Of course, there's really no remnants of it that I know of. There's no, if you look at the pictures of where the train derailed and landed into basically some sand pits, the whole area is sand pits up through here. So it's really hard to tell location because the landscape has changed so much. But if you research that, you will find it. There's also a short story about it on the Rochester, New Hampshire historical channel on YouTube. Again, there's not a ton of information, probably because Farmington, New Hampshire is not a very popular place. But it is interesting to find that did happen here. And these ties, could these be remnants of that? Is that why these are just thrown over here? I don't know. So you can barely make out the gate right there. So somewhere around that intersection is where the train wreck occurred. Here doesn't look, I don't know, it doesn't look like the pictures. Now, again, this area is all sand around here. If you look at satellite of, you know, Farmington, Rochester, New Hampshire, that area, that's all you're gonna see is sand pits. Everything just looked a lot higher in the pictures, and maybe it was. But it wouldn't have jumped the tracks and obviously come up here. It would have gone down, because when you cross the road right there, off that way is all sand. So it could have been right there. It's really hard to tell. I've heard a couple different descriptions about it, but there's not a whole lot of information. I tried to read the old newspaper article from 1928, and that was not easy, but there's either 6 or 8 people killed. Pretty nasty event. And that was coming from Lakeport. So I connected to Lakeport at the time. And it was going down to Gloucester, Massachusetts. So it was definitely headed there, that direction. So, yeah. I don't know if anyone's got remnants of that. Maybe someone has some pieces of that. 1928. I'm sure there's not a whole lot left. But kind of had to find that out on my own. All right, there's a wire fence there, so I'm not going to cross that, but I just wanted to go look at this old tie, because these should be very, very, very old, a lot older than what I've been looking at. And that would be interesting if that date nail I just saw was actually a 28, considering that's the year that train wreck was. I mean, there's no way to know, just from looking at it all squished like that. But who knows? It could be. Just be one of those things that's been happening to me lately. I'm just kind of, I'm just walking into things. I'm just finding things without even really looking. So I just stopped here after work. It's gonna be a short walk across this road here, because I think there's still some interesting things to see over here. You can see where the tracks cross here. Now, I did see a YouTube video. I wish I could remember the channel, but it showed an old B&M train, a couple train cars, whatever, coming through here in 1989. So at least up till then, I mean, I don't know when the rails through here were picked up. But at least seeing that video, watching that, and I'm like, yeah, I know right where that is. It's right there. So seeing that come through there in 1989 even, which, I mean, yeah, it's sort of a long time ago, but not really. That was very cool to see. So maybe they pulled all this up in sometime in the 90s. See, we still have railroad ties here. So these are shifted over here. Isn't that cool? You can still see them. Very well defined tracks. So it wouldn't have been necessarily here. It would have been over here. So I wonder if we might find a whistle post back here somewhere. And I have walked over here before, but again, I don't think I really made a video of it. I was just kind of, you know, you make a lot of clips and you decide what you're going to keep and what you're not. And I probably deleted the whole thing because I really didn't care. And I was just, this was when I first started doing this. I don't know why I started doing this. There's some rail right there. Yeah, actually now I do remember. So there is some cool stuff over here. There is some big factory down here. See another gate. So those tracks, they would have actually been up here. Which, you know, you happen to see an occasional railroad tie, but they're buried. Yeah, there's this piece of gate right here. There's another one right there. So I believe it's something that had to do with this factory up here, or whatever it is. There's some kind of a loading dock running all the way down through here. Another piece of yellow gate right there. I'll just keep this running so you guys see this as I approach it. I haven't been over here since May or June. There's a culvert. Big rock that fell down there, so that's probably not working as designed. A lot of culverts here are so plugged up. Maybe that's why we have so much flooding, especially in the past couple springs. There's nowhere for the water to go. All right, so what I'll do when I start to see that wall, I'll start recording again. Well, I'll start recording again a little early because there is another date now. So that's a later one. Is that the, yeah, 52. Wow, that's pretty neat. One of the later ones again that I've seen. And look at this. I'd have to take the whole board apart, which doesn't really matter because it's all routed, but we do have a 28. So it's very possible that was a 28, which is the year of the train wreck. That's crazy. All right, so here's that spot I was talking about. So there's a road going to that factory. I don't know what it is. I probably should, but I don't. But there is sort of this, I don't know, would this be sort of like a loading dock? Because the tracks would have been right here. Keep you out of the sun. But yeah, it's a platform right along where the tracks would have run. That's kind of cool. So it definitely had something to do with this factory, or there might have been some more manufacturers or something up there. I'm really not sure. It's kind of cool to see that. You can see it goes all the way to the road right there. And let's see how far it goes. Now traffic. Stay out of the sun glare. Looks like it ends right here. Yeah, so it must have been some type of a loading dock. Cool. All right, pretty much at the end here. Just goes right back up over here to another trail. or section that I had already shown you guys. An old telephone pole here, section. Sometimes there's a tag in there. You can read the company or company name or whatever, but I don't see anything here. And that looks like the only piece I see. Yeah, so this is just like most of my videos, unplanned. Of course, on the rail trails lately, especially in Epping, those have been planned. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you got some information out of that. We did see that piece of equipment. Now, I know the switch, the railroad switch, I get it. That mechanism mounted to the railroad tie. I don't know what actually that's called. But that's the first time, like I said, the first time I've seen B&M actually on a piece of equipment. I guess I have to look a little closer, don't I? 1928 nail, actually possibly two of them, which is kind of weird because I started talking to you about the 1928 Circus Train Wreck. You guys might want to research that. Again, there's not a ton of information, but there's some. Rochester, Farmington Historical Society, and just Google it. You'll find the actual newspaper, the original newspaper ad. See, it's still pieces of a railroad tie underground here. All right, I'm just gonna head back and go wash up, eat some dinner. I'm sure my dog misses me. Just decided to stop here after work. Makes it a long day, but it's well worth it. I'm glad I found the things I found. Hoping to find some more things soon. All right, that's gonna do it. Take care, everybody.